A USC computer science professor is working on a coronavirus tracking app to help slow down the spread.
Senator Bernie Sanders endorses Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee. Will this make a difference to progressives and younger voters?
A Silver Lake family takes a creative approach to Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The message behind their mural is coming up.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
I want to note that today's number of new cases is the lowest number of new cases we've reported since March 26th, and that's a good thing.
Nearly 52,000 people have been tested for the coronavirus in LA County. Good evening, I'm Nicola Wenz.
And I'm Caleb Michael. Governor Gavin Newsom says he's working on a plan with governors of Oregon and Washington to lift restrictions on daily life soon.
In our ongoing effort to combat this crisis, the Department of Public Health announced plans to extend the Safer at Home until May 15th. Over the weekend, the county announced 779 new cases of COVID-19. While the number of cases continues to increase, we are hopeful that our efforts through our health officer orders and distancing measures are working for your ultimate benefit. This decision will help us get to the end of this crisis more quickly.
Los Angeles County is now reporting 9,420 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 320 deaths, according to the LA County Health Department.
Over the weekend, the Viterbi School of Engineering announced its development of the COVID-19 contact tracing app. The app is said to be able to anonymously track coronavirus spread. I'm YASMINE CARRERA reporting from Los Angeles. Today with me is Professor Cyrus Shahibi to explain more on how the app can help get us back into a normal routine while also reducing the spread of coronavirus.
The app is not released, so we submitted a proposal to NSF to work further on the app. The plan is to improve the app to basically with more privacy aspects, especially for location. And the idea is that, for example, the users have the option to submit coarser locations rather than their specific GPS location. So, for example, they can send the city or a zip code or the specific shopping center rather than the exact location, the data collection aspect. So once people are comfortable enough to share their information and the location and so on, of course you can do the contact tracing, which is important to, for example, go back to normal life, because that seems to be the only option so far.
The university is offering students living off campus construction-grade desk masks to help stay safe. Students can pick up masks outside Engelman Health Center from 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. Students are required to show ID, sanitize their hands, and take 2 desk masks.
USC Housing sent out a schedule for when students can return to campus and safely pick up their items. I'm Annika Goldman reporting from Princeton, New Jersey. From April 27th to May 22nd, students will be divided into 4 groups to get their belongings. Only one group is allowed back during each 3-hour shift. One shift is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the other from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. During final exams, students won't be allowed back in house. I spoke with a couple students today to hear their opinions.
I don't like people going through my stuff, especially people I don't know. So I don't know if I'd feel comfortable like letting the school pack up my stuff.
Students are communicating, and I think that they're going to all try and come back so they can see each other. I think that this whole move out schedule, while it is put in place to help people get their belongings that they left at school, is in a way going to be treated as a social event.
The first U.S. trial to detect COVID-19 antibodies took place in Los Angeles this weekend. USC's Price School of Public Policy partnered with the LA County Department of Public Health to test the blood of 1,000 randomly selected LA County residents. The drive-through blood test takes less than 15 minutes and will help researchers learn how widespread coronavirus may be in hopes of predicting when the epidemic will end.
We're going to try to repeat this testing every 2 or 3 weeks for the next few months. So if we track that over time, we can predict when this epidemic is going to end. And also we will be able to see whether all the policies we are implementing, like stay-at-home orders, whether these are actually working or not.
The latest question surrounding COVID-19 is whether someone can be infected a second time. This comes after South Korea reported 91 patients tested positive again for the virus. I talked to an expert who says no country uses the same COVID-19 testing method so we don't really know.
Even when people are talking about reinfection, from a definitional standpoint, we're not quite clear about what it is that they're referring to. At this point, even the reinfections that have been claimed in South Korea and in China, we don't know as much about, are these truly symptomatic reinfections? Are these patients who were having a false negative test but had continuing infection?
As governors on both coasts debated over whether to reopen businesses, the latest data from the CDC shows more than 554,000 cases and nearly 22,000 deaths.
Many elders rely on visits from their grandchildren and game nights with friends to help connect to loved ones. Reporting from Los Angeles, I'm Leroy Goldsmith. As coronavirus cases continue to rise across America, those who are most vulnerable to the disease are forced to self-isolate, leaving them feeling anxious and alone.
I have a friend who I call every morning. He's considerably older than me and lives alone, and he worries about if something happens to him during the night, who's going to know. So I check with him in the morning, make sure he's alive and well, and sometimes we'll talk during the day also.
It's important that we assure older adults that their lives matter, that they're valuable, and that any of the strategies that we employ, whether it's at the government level, local levels, or even in terms of our own family and household environments, that we're going to be sensible and we're going to think about the risks that might be uniquely faced by some older individuals.
A surge of USC students enrolled in free Mindful USC courses for coping techniques during the coronavirus pandemic. I'm Sarah Legre in Riverside, California. Today, I spoke with Mindful USC Director Alan Wise and students about how to deal with isolation and anxiety.
When the university it was clear that they were going online, I just hopped into gear and turned everything online as fast as I could. Now we're up to 17 classes. So we've had an 86% jump just in the last 3 weeks or so.
Mindful USC has added 9 new online classes since the rise of the pandemic. Classes range from basic mindful practices to mindful sleeping and eating techniques. Students can now learn how to approach the pandemic with a healthy mentality.
I registered for the mindful sleep class because when I'm stressed, I usually have a hard time sleeping, and it helped tremendously. I mean, I learned how to be more present, how to stress less, how to be more open and have more gratitude.
Mindfulness is really fantastic for coming to recognize and accept what it is that, that we're feeling during this time first. And then there's a lot of things you can do after that to, work your way through it.
For Professor Wise, recognizing the universality of our emotions helps combat loneliness.
When we get anxious, when we get all these emotions, our mind becomes very narrow. When you practice mindfulness, your world opens up.
Professor Wise hopes Mindful USC courses help students spread kindness and self-compassion to help ease the strain of the pandemic. For Annenberg Media, I'm Sarah Allegre.
A major milestone towards unifying the Democratic Party today, with Senator Bernie Sanders formally backing Joe Biden for president. Sanders virtually joined the former vice president to announce his endorsement. I'm Ella Katz, reporting from Chicago.
Today, I am asking all Americans, I'm asking every Democrat, I'm asking every independent, I'm asking a lot of Republicans to come together in this campaign to support your candidacy, which I endorse, to make certain that we defeat somebody who I believe, and I'm speaking just for myself now, is the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country.
While Democrats are optimistic, the question is whether or not progressive voters can resonate with Biden's more moderate policies. We spoke to a USC professor and former member of Trojans for Warren to see where their heads are at.
It'll allow the party itself to coalesce around the nominee. It'd be hard, again, in this environment to get a message across about the nuances of policy. It's winning that matters, and it's really not the gradations, if you will, of policy. I'm hopeful that the college students will turn out because they're a critical component.
Beyond policy, I think he needs to earn trust more so. He can say he supports Medicare for all or a Green New Deal, but how can we trust that he'll fight for those? Young people were an important part of his coalition and winning, and so hasn't brought in the young people into the fold, and that's something that he really needs to work on doing if he wants to win.
Following a difficult Easter Sunday for those in southern states,
a surge in more than 40 tornadoes and storms hit the southeastern corner of the country. Reporting from Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Spencer Kelly. My home state of North Carolina was hit particularly hard, as trees and power lines have been knocked down, streets have been closed, and thousands have been left without power. Many people in my neighborhood woke up overnight to fried Wi-Fi routers, non-functioning power outlets, and trees and branches scattered across yards and city streets. The most frightening example of this was just a few streets over from mine, where a large tree fell on a home and garage. Complications from the COVID-19 pandemic have made it more difficult for people to access the repairs and services they need following the storm, leading many to wonder when things will be back and up and running. These concerns, however, pale to those faced in states like Georgia, Mississippi, Arkansas, and other parts of North Carolina, where over 30 people died during last night's storm. From Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Spencer Kelly.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth ISLAS with Annenberg Media Sports, reporting from Los Banos, California. Now, even though the college basketball season was cut short, people are looking forward to next season as some of the nation's top recruits are still deciding where they're going to play. USC has eyed some of these recruits, but things aren't really looking as planned. The number 5 overall recruit Zaire Williams announced he's attending Stanford on Twitter Sunday.
It was one school, and with that being said, I'll be committing to the University of Stanford.
USC has also focused on landing Josh Christopher, the number 10 recruit in the nation. He's expected to make his decision sometime today, with USC in his top 5 of school choices. USC basketball's 2020 recruiting class is ranked 5th in the Pac-12 and 51st in the nation, but they did land the best forward in the class of 2020 with Evan Mobley, as well as some skilled transfers to add experience at all positions. Now, even though the NCAA hasn't announced when or if the winter season will start as scheduled, one thing's for sure: USC will have the Mobley brothers on their side. Now let's send it over to Julia Adams.
Thanks for that update, Liz. I'm Julia Adams reporting from Pacific Palisades, California. Exactly 4 years ago today, the late Kobe Bryant dropped 60 points in his final NBA game. Social media has lit up with hashtag Mamba Day to pay tribute to what only Kobe Bryant could do. In 2016, the year of Bryant's retirement, Nike announced it would recognize April 13th as Mamba Day, the day of Bryant's last game against the Utah Jazz. An especially heart-wrenching tribute to Bryant today came from none other than his wife Vanessa on Instagram, saying, quote, "Mamba Day. My husband worked for 20 years. Gave it his all. All he wanted to do was spend time with our girls and to make up for lost time. I wish I could go back to that morning every day. I wish they had a normal local game on 126. Life truly isn't fair." In honor of Mamba Day, Nike dropped a brand new Kobe Bryant sneaker called the Mamba Fury. This is the first Bryant sneaker Nike has dropped since Kobe's passing in January. Nicola and Caleb, back to you.
A Silver Lake family is calling attention to Sexual Assault Awareness Month. A mural on the outside of their house features 5 strong women, including Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Oprah Winfrey. The mom and her 2 daughters were inspired by Camille Rainfield's poem, "Be a Lady," they said. Already, the mural has sparked conversation.
People are so supportive.
They're stopping us on, like, they'll talk to us while we're painting. But people have started telling us about their own personal stories with sexual assault.
I never would have thought I would get to say that there's a mural honoring Sexual Assault Awareness Month on my house.
Yeah, it's also pretty amazing I think our houses during this time sort of feel like the structure that's restraining us and forcing us to be inside. But it's kind of empowering to use that same structure as a way to connect with other women and people.
Swipe Up is a new segment that we are introducing tonight to our Monday show. I'm Monica Cooper, reporting from San Diego, and every week I'll be talking to a new social media content creator. Now, while people are stuck at home, they're finding new and creative ways to spend their time, and TikTok seems to be high on that list.
USC sophomore Makai Reese has been spending his time creating choreography on TikTok. He recently choreographed a dance that featured Lizzo's song Juice, and it wasn't long before she saw the video, learned the dance, and even did a duet with it. We talked to Makai to find out just how it all went down.
I've just been dedicating a lot of time to not only just watching like all the content that's available, but also trying to push my creative limits as well. But I had originally found the mix and I was like, oh, I have to make choreo to this. Like, I just have to, like, this could be perfect. And I had noticed that there wasn't any dances to it yet. And then it was like around like 1 a.m. and I got a notification and it said Lizzo with a little verified tag, and it said, commented on your video saying, I'm learning this. And I literally started panicking. I was freaking out. Like, I would just never think that a celebrity, like something this crazy scale would happen to me during this time.
You know, this new segment, Swipe Up, is actually really cool. It's about TikTok, and I know, Caleb, that you just started your own TikTok recently.
I did. I tried a couple dances, and they're pretty tough. Are you on TikTok?
No, not yet. I'm like waiting as long as I can, but I might cave soon.
It's gonna catch up to you.
Well, thank you for watching. We will continue to post newscasts right here on Annenberg Media YouTube channel.
And for more coverage on COVID-19, head to uscannenbergmedia.com. Have a great night.